Yes, fear does stop them from receiving, and it also creates a boundary and a barrier with your spiritual team. Because many of you don't realise that your team are there. Many of you doubt that the universe has your back. Many of you don't quite understand how this works, which is fine. And this is why, by listening to this, it will begin to help you. But they're saying that fear has stopped many of you from moving forward. Some of you are fearful of getting burnt, in the sense of by doing something, and then if it doesn't go according to your human brain, that you think it's gone wrong. Whereas they're saying if you just step back for a little while to witness, to allow yourself to surrender, and they just said to surrender to your dreams, then you will see how it naturally unfolds. But they're saying that many of you are quite fearful at this time because of change, and they're saying that humans do not like to change. They said they don't quite understand how some of you are in situations right now that are not fulfilling you, that are not enabling you, that are preventing you from growing and expanding yourself because you're too fearful. And they're saying they understand this to some degree, but with human years, sometimes where you all have the same issue or the same problem or the same thought process that you should have done something 5, 10, 15 years ago, or a couple of weeks ago, or whatever it is, that because of that thought that stays internally within you, it prevents you from moving forward. And as a human, sometimes it might feel like only yesterday, but sometimes it's 20 years ago. So you do not have any time to waste. That's what they're saying to me, especially right now. Okay. Now, the reason they just said that, it feels as if there's some change occurring, in the sense of you'll be able to have or be able to, over the next period of time, I'm trying to get a time span on this, whereby, okay, thank you, by manifesting, by moving forward, you can do this, but you have to sort of heal those wounds first before you can really manifest from your heart. So they're saying that there is time that is coming now of how you want to change your life, or how you want to move forward in your life, how you want to create changes. And that will happen. But first of all, you have to deal with some of the things that are holding you back, because some of them are anchoring you or keeping you still, that are not allowing you to sort of move forward. So they're saying that because there are some wounds that haven't been healed, or there's information that you're still telling yourself, you're keeping yourself small. Okay, they just said, but sometimes by what humans feel is a disaster isn't necessarily a disaster. It's something that's been cleared out of the path, been cleared away, so that it then helps you to reevaluate, look at things in a different way, so that you can then move forward. So understanding, when you look back on life, that you understand why you lost that job, you understand, that relationship that has failed, or lived it out its purpose, it served its purpose. You'll understand much more clearly as you move forward. But when you're in it, it can be quite difficult and exhausting. Okay. But they're saying this is all very much about the security, the support of the base chakra, the lower chakras here right now. But you can see from the questions they have given you that the answers are going to affect you in many ways. So, it's not just the security and that dealing with that lower chakra, it's to deal also with the heart and other areas of you. But they're saying by doing this simple exercise, it will start making you aware of your progress. It will start making you aware of what could be holding you back. And there was always a place to begin, and they feel this is a suitable place to begin, they just said. Feeling either not worthy or good enough, or there's something there they're talking about. Okay, thank you. So that feeling of maybe not feeling worthy for that job, not good enough, comparing yourself to others, they just sort of said, worrying about your lack of ability or how others will see you. This is okay, thank you, they just said, this is the natural thing, this happens to some humans. Unworthiness that comes up, they're looking at yourself, what is going on, what roles the individuals are playing in that particular job as well, and who you identify them with in your external life, they just said. Because there is something there with the individuals that the job that you're in, that they are stimulating something in you. Okay, thank you. But what they're saying is you are learning so much by putting yourself, you are like the warrior, you are stronger than you imagine, they just said. It's about finding strength in this. So those individuals that are around you right now, see what's being played out. Now, I don't know whether there was stuff going on when you were at school and about individuals at school, or family members that have been around you that are triggering stuff off in you now. So the job that you're in, those individuals could be triggering off issues that have affected you in the past. And this unworthiness from that you have is something that you need to address. So, thank you. They just sort of said, okay, it's a bit like, I don't know if this is helpful or not. They're saying it's a bit like when animals pick up, especially dogs, if someone is scared or fearful, they will sense it, they'll pick it up, and then it's sort of this sense of bullying, okay? So it's this having this unworthiness of thinking whether you can do this particular role or how people might be seeing you. These bullies are also picking up on it, okay? And so then they're attacking you in that sense of having a go at you as well, okay? Oh, thank you. Right, okay, very important. They also said, having these feelings and what's going on for you right now is actually, you need to carry on pushing through this. You acknowledge how you're feeling, acknowledge how you're feeling with each and every one that's in those roles. You do not run away from this, they said. You do not run away. This is not about going backwards, this is about you moving forward. You acknowledge how you're feeling with those individuals, and then you turn around and say, I'm bigger than this, I'm going to continue to move forward. This is part of the learning. This is part of learning and helping you to move through this, okay? So it's about, we are sent individuals in our lives. I've said this before, like keys, like they're the code. They hold codes internally within our soul. It's a soul lesson. So don't see this as putting you down, just see this as breaking you to push you through. As in, I use the acorn experience. I was saying to you about the acorn, it has to break and then it grows into this beautiful tree, okay? And it's strong. Through your experience that you're going through right now, do not allow it to break you in the sense that you never break through it, okay? Do not run away from it. Continue to move through it, okay? Very important, because everything that you're learning right now and strengthening your soul will lead you to where you need to be. But you need to go through this. They're saying to this again, whether you've done this before, you do not run away from this time. It will not change. You will have the same situation come up a number of times until you break through it, okay? And you are worthy. You must see yourself. You are worthy of this. Otherwise, this role would never have come up for you. So you very much so at the moment, where there's a lot of change in the energy, and we always look at the moon and we always like wondering what's going on and how it affects us. And you know, we know it affects us, the tide, you know, because our body's made up of so much percentage of water, just like the ocean, and all the planets that's going on. We've got all the planets that are moving and rejiggling around, and each planet sort of resonates, sort of sends that vibration of energy, and it affects us so much, and we just really don't realize. We don't pay enough attention to nature and what's happening. So, you know, we've even from the changes in season, we're like animals, so we really have to position ourselves, You know, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to be what feels right for us as an individual. You know, I was putting this up on Instagram the other day, something about if you as a plant, are you in the right location? Are you getting the right sun, you know, water, the daylight, whatever it is. If you think with daylight they need the photosynthesis to grow and stuff like that, and then what they give out to the world. You really got to look at where you are for you right now on this planet at this particular time. And this wave of frustration is there's a lot of planets that are moving around and they're coming into your own individual chart, your house on the chart. Very individual for individual people. But having this going on, it's affecting everyone emotionally on the planet right now. And you're right, today was a real feeling of that frustration, that energy. It's like, it's got, you know what it is? It's this sort of real change where people are like, I've had enough. I don't want this anymore. I want to make change in my life. And it's the real sort of warrior energy coming in, because they keep showing me the warrior standing there, or, you know, a width apart the feet, and sort of like, right, I'm not taking this much more. This is what I want. This is change I want. And you know, we were just talking about, you know, uncovering things. Well, you're uncovering old wounds internally. You're uncovering things that have gone on the planet that we're not happy with, different organisations, parliamentary bodies. There's a lot of energy at the moment. And each individual person, whatever's going on in your own individual life, is having a knock-on effect of the energy around you. So, you know, you were saying, you know, good point about being in your office and how individuals were a bit aggy today. Well, everybody is affected at the moment by this wave of energy that's coming in. And also at the moment, for those who are very consciously aware, who are aware now, the empathics and the intuitives who've really opened up, you're going to be even more sensitive. So if you've got someone working in your office who's having a bad day, they don't have to talk to you. You're going to feel it. So you're going to feel it, you know, I used to feel it as like a palpitation in my heart. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Because you're going to feel their energy where it's bouncing off of your energy field. You know, if you imagine like a ping pong of energy around you, like a ball of energy, that you're actually picking up on their vibrations. So that's why it's important now to be around those who feel and think very similar to yourself. Yes, you're going to learn from those who don't think and feel the same way. You're learning from those. But to make yourself more comfortable and aware is to check in with your energy, how you're feeling. And if it's feeling not quite right, you know, you want to, okay, this doesn't feel right. What can I do about it? Yeah, you can walk away from it. But it might be actually showing you something. What is going on? Is that environment the right environment for you now? Or does it mean it's time for you to move on or change the people around you? So, you know, there's a lot of energy going on right now. And there's a lot of light codes coming in from the universe, messages in the light codes that are coming in for your energy system. And for those who are very aware of universal energy and being intuitive and psychic, you're going to have loads going on. And full speed ahead now, you're changing drastically but brilliantly. So this is the time now for change. So if you don't feel comfortable somewhere, yes, you have to take care of your energy and move away. Because if you was an animal, you'd be like, this doesn't feel right, I'm off. Whereas the human, we think, oh, I should be here, I should be doing this. We get so much in our heads that we think we should be in a situation, which is rubbish. Because we don't see ourselves as like a snail with a shell that we can just move away. It's like rigidly anchored into the ground, and so we can't move, we can't do this, we can't change a job. But who's saying that? Only you're saying that. You have to, you know, it doesn't feel right, make a change. So yes, when you've gone through so much change, you know, you've said, good question about, you know, you've gone through graduation, everything's happened now, you've moved away from home, you know, you're waiting almost like, come on life, begin, come on, star. And then it's like, oh, hang on, it's the same thing, same old, same old, same old. It's almost like I've been revving up for this moment in my life, and then it's like, oh, I'm here. Where's the flags? Where's the balloons? Where's the party poppers? What's going on? So I do this with clients. I've got loads of clients where they go through change, and you think, and they're like, they work so hard to get to that change, that moment, and they've changed because they've noticed life around them has changed. You know, might have that job now, or their own business, or they've moved, or they've come out of a relationship, or they've gone into a new relationship, or whatever it is, or whatever I've been coaching them on. They get to where they get to, and they're like, okay. And it's like, what next? You're growing through that process. That is growth. That's what's got you to where you are. It's that pushing, it's the momentum, it's there. Okay, thank you. But they also said sometimes you just need to be still. You also need to be in the pause moment. You sometimes have to feel it. You have to have that moment of, I'm here, I've accomplished what I need, I'm where I need to be right now. The frustration of on the edge or on the fence, or thinking I should be doing something, I'm not doing it, or I'm here, I'm stuck, or whatever's going on, that just means there is a change of energy in you. So internally you've become aware that things have changed around you, or that you need or want something different for you, and you're not quite getting it. And that just means literally there's change in that process. So you just need to sit with it, not to move forward or backwards, or sideways, I just said, but just to sit with it at this moment. No, you cannot force growth upon anyone around you, but for you changing already, they are going to see the difference in you, and they will begin to change too. And you have to hold on to that thought and feeling that they will change because you have changed. You'll change the way that you communicate with them and communicate with others around you, then they will receive it back. It will start making them think, oh, well, she's changed, or why is she talking to me this way, or what's happening, or why do I feel like this? Because you've changed. You're not forcing them to change. You have done all the work, and that will have an effect upon family, friends, the person down the road, the person on the tube, whatever it is. And where you are right in yourself right now, just take a moment to pause, okay? Just allow things to unfold naturally for you. This is a funny old moment at the moment in history, the universe and energy. Moving forward, things are going to change. There's going to be a real manifesting wave of energy coming up very, very shortly. But to get that manifesting wave of energy of knowing what you want, or what you know, that's it, I really want this. First of all, you have to, in a place of being you, and what is it that you really, really, really do want, okay? And you also, from a place of manifestation, you need to sort out those old wounds first. Because, you know, lots of people say to me, I've been trying to manifest money, or I'm trying to manifest this car, I'm trying to manifest this guy. Well, first of all, you've got to sort yourself out. You've got to look at who you are first. And you can only do that in the moment that you're pausing, taking some time. Who am I? Where am I? How am I feeling about myself? You know, and be kind to yourself. You know, like I had massages a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, it really helped, because I know now when I've got tension, because the tension has now been massaged out of all my muscles. So you've got to be in that place of pause first, to know who you are, what it is that you want, and then you move gently into that, okay? No rush. Let's have a little look. Okay, you think of the human self as a human vessel, in the sense that it's a container that it can produce, can hold, can create these emotions within your body. When you have these emotions, you are contained within this vessel. It's so that your soul can process, so that your soul has this soul growth. It makes you more aware of who you are, or your journey, where you're walking forward to, where you're moving forward to. When you have your emotions, they are quite dense as a human being. The emotions are quite heavy. You are totally, fully absorbed in the emotions. The emotions can bring up the experiences. It can link it back. So through sadness, through sadness, through grief, through frustration, through anger, it connects you as a link. It goes back. It connects you to the experience. And some of you are not allowing yourself to fully experience, or you get lost deep in space within the emotions. Okay, thank you. So Anne said with the depression, it's like as if you feel like you're on pause. You cannot move, you cannot do anything. You may not want to eat, you may not want to get dressed, you may not want to brush your teeth, you may not want to connect with other humans. This is a moment of pause. This is when the deep heaviness, there's a frequency for the emotions that you feel, and it's heavier, it's deeper, it's lower. Low vibes. It makes it harder then for loved ones to step forward to connect to you. Okay, but this is not always true necessarily. There are moments of the sadness. Okay, thank you. That your loved one steps forward to connect with you from the heart and wishes to sit by your side, to hold your hand, to reassure you. Again, you may not hear or feel or see us because you are so caught up. You have come into your body. You are in that deep depths of depression. But this prevents us in a way to communicate, but you also have to be in that to clear away what's happening, the anger, the frustration, to work on that human emotion so that you may unravel it. The other frequencies that we come through a lot clearer, thank you, on the laughter of a child. Okay, thank you. They just brought me to an event over the weekend. I don't know how this is going to sound. Over the weekend, I went out and there was a live band and I was dancing, there was some music. And I said to a friend of mine, I said, I'm going to tune into the energy. And because of so many people that were really happy, it was almost like, this is going to sound terrible, or maybe not, feeding off that energetic. It was like really euphoric. They were really happy, giggling, laughing and everything. Now, there was a very close balance with some, obviously there was a lot of alcohol for the other individuals, and obviously that's not ideal to open up your energy to alcohol in the sense of picking up on their frequencies, because alcohol actually it reduces your inhibitions, and also you can have other things, other spirits bringing in as well. And I don't mean alcoholic spirits, but you can bring in other spirits which may be on a low frequency. Again, and that's another whole subject, the lower frequency and what they bring forward of stuff that might have happened. So I am aware that when I've had a loved one this has actually happened to, where he's been out, he has been drinking, and then where there was a lower frequency of a lower energy stream, that the individual, there was somebody who had passed over, shall we say in the 70s, and where that individual was on the tube, they sort of, gosh, not to scare, but sort of the energy sort of latched onto them and sort of, you know, overshadowed them to some degree. So they had another opportunity of living life for a human experience, but the human who was living here in their present self became disorientated. I don't know why I just did it that way, but that's what they said, in the sense that they wasn't themselves to some degree and was acting very differently from how they normally act. And some people have sort of said to others, like when they've had something to drink, oh, you wasn't acting yourself. Well, because normally, you know, when something happens like this, when you've let your guard down as the human being, you can attract lower energy, earth plane sort of, in a sense where somebody may have passed over, but they're not ready to leave, or they're unaware they have actually died. They can sort of latch onto you energetically, and then sort of work with your vessel for however long, and sometimes can be difficult to shift. So that, we call that an attachment anyway. But the question that you asked about through having a human experience, can that make it difficult then to connect to your guides? Can it make it more foggy? Yes, that's exactly what happens. So if you have an episode where you're not connecting to your guides so much, it's normally because there is some emotional trauma or experience that you're undergoing right at this particular moment, and that can make it difficult to connect.